Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Will.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons & Dragons, from moldy myconids to magnanimous monstrosities. And today we're talking about the Barbarian.
The Dungeoncast. All right, Brian.
Will, hello.
Hello. And Happy New Year.
Again.
Yes. Yeah. We're recording this on New Year's.
Yay.
So today is a very special episode to me anyways, because I'm excited. We're delving back into classes and we're starting with the Barbarian.
And that's close to my heart as well.
Fantastic. So basically we've covered all the classes in this show. And when we did so, we 99% covered just Player's Handbook stuff.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot released since then for a lot of these classes, enough so that I kind of wanted to go back and let's revisit some of the stuff. So we're going to revisit some of the various new subclasses and options for these races.
Particularly from like Unearthed Arcana that became Xanathar's Guide, right?
Yeah, particularly from Xanathar's Guide, a little bit from Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, and a smattering of other things here and there. Also, we'll probably build a character.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get back to that. We used to do that in our older episodes. If you guys go back and listen, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll build a character.
Okay.
And we'll also touch on maybe some topics that I look back on older episodes and be like, oh, we should have talked about this and this, but we just didn't. So we'll try and catch it this time around.
Cool.
So that being said, we're starting with Barbarians, and I'm excited because there's quite a few subclasses that we're going to talk about. 3, in fact. And so, hell, let's just get into it.
Jump right in.
Yeah,
Hit me with that first one, Will.
So the first one I want to talk about is it's from Xanathar's Guide. It's called Path of the Storm Herald. And so this
buzzword storm.
Yeah, storm.
Watch out,
you know
everybody.
how I feel about that. So obviously, I'm very attracted to this subclass. I think it's very cool.
Cool.
So this take on barbarians really kind of ties them into like primal or elemental magic. It's kind of a way to get some magic into your barbarian.
Okay.
Because barbarians aren't usually spellcasters in any way, shape, or form. Raging usually mitigates any type of spellcasting. But this is a way where you take your rage and you take your storm and you put them together.
And you just fucking blend them up in your barbarian body.
Indeed. So this basically what this barbarian is, when this barbarian rages, it causes a mantle of primal or elemental energy to swirl about them, and it will cause various effects depending on which type of storm you choose. And
there's different types of storm.
There are different types of storm that you can choose. They're like almost like ranger terrains, like favorite terrains, if you will.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. It's similar. And they are desert, sea, and tundra.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, and basically, like, desert's going to be like a heat or fire kind of flavor. Sea is going to be lightning, storm type flavor. And then tundra, of course, is going to be cold, ice, you know. Yeah, 3 different types of storms, I suppose.
Okay.
Although when I think of desert, I usually think of sandstorm, but
That's kind of like that thing, like, you know, as opposed to like the 4 elements, we have like this rock, paper, scissors kind of thing going on. There was these Mega Man Zero games I used to play, and you could attach like a lightning chip to your guy, and he would do lightning damage, and the lightning damage would be good against, I think, fire, and the fire would be good against ice, and the ice would be good against lightning. Right.
Yeah, you know, that's a common thing you see in video games, like Elder Scrolls are like that, where you have fire, lightning, and ice are like the 3 core. Usually there's 2 different options for video games. It's either the 4 basics like earth, air, water, and fire, or for some reason, there's the trinity of lightning, fire, and cold.
Yeah, I like the rock paper scissors style.
Yeah, if you like the rock paper scissors style, you should check out Fire Emblem, the tactical RPG.
Oh, okay.
The whole game is based off rock paper scissors styles, and there's like 4 different like circles. Like there's fire. I think in that one it's fire, wind, and. It's fire, wind, and something else. Man, well, I'm drawing a blank.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, and then like swords, spears, and axes are their own trinity of rock, paper, scissors. And
that actually sounds like fun. I would do that.
It's definitely up your alley. But back to barbarians. So the first feature you get at level 3 is your storm aura, which basically it procs when you rage, and if you are a desert storm barbarian, your aura is going to cause 2 fire damage to all creatures within 10 feet of you.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. I think once per round. So probably at the end of your turn,
just for free.
Yeah, for free. You don't have to do anything. It's just two fire damage. Now that will increase over time. I think it only increases to like 6 by level 20.
Dude, 6 free damage is like
exactly. It's
really
6 free
good.
damage around. Unfortunately, it's all creatures, so that's your allies too. So
so you gotta watch out.
yeah, this is a barbarian that doesn't play well with others.
Well,
at least not.
Also,
at first.
fortunately, it's only 2 damage.
That's true. Although 2 damage at level 3 is still like, oh, dude, back the fuck up.
Calm down.
Yeah,
that hurt. Fuck.
But I kind of picture that. Well, you could picture that in a few ways. Like you could literally just be on fire, and then the heat from it is, causing damage, or it could be like,
my skin is cooking, and I don't know why.
Yeah, or it could just be like a swirl of hot air is just billowing about
just
you,
whipping you in the eyes.
Yeah, so
you dry out your opopponent's eyes.
Yeah,
they take 2 damage.
Blinded.
Give me the drops.
If you choose the sea barbarian, you get to choose an enemy, or you get to choose a target at the end of your turn, and that target has to make a dexterity save. If they fail, they'll take 2d6 lightning damage.
Nice.
So, and that also increases as they level up. And then for the Tundra Barbarian, it's actually a different approach. All allies, all creatures you choose, so allies, gain 2 temporary HP at the end of each turn.
Oh, cool.
Right?
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, temp HP. So
which is interesting. That's number one. Why cold gives you HP? I don't know. Whatever. It's fun though. I do like the idea of bolstering your allies. It's really cool.
Yeah, and I don't know, 2 HP. So if better temporary HP comes along, it'll replace that. But
true.
But 2 HP is 2 HP,
and it just happens every turn for free. Like it's a nice buffer.
Yeah. So it's basically taking 2 damage off of all your attacks. Well, off of the first attack, pretty much each round.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
you're gonna
a nice
last
little extra boost
over like several turns. You're gonna last longer. You're gonna last like an extra
yeah,
round,
it definitely adds up
just
absolutely.
from like one passive ability.
Yeah, exactly. Although it is limited to your rages, which I think you only start off with 2 of those per day, but still not too shabby.
Though,
for all the big fights, it'll be there.
Right.
All right. Next feature you get for the Storm Herald is at level 6. You get a Storm Soul. You basically become infused with the element of the terrain of your choice. By the way, I should mention that you are allowed to change terrains, but only when you level up.
What?
Yeah. So
that's like changing out spells.
I guess. Yeah, kind of. At first I thought this was kind of strange, but then I was thinking about it, and you could kind of make sense of it. Of like you journey into the desert, maybe you level up there, and your experience there has made it so you've grown attuned to the nature in this place, and now you're a desert storm.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. So it's not that strange.
You're like rooting your power from what's around you.
Yeah, which I do like that idea. I think if I were to roll this type of barbarian, though, I would pick one and stick to it. Okay, that's just the kind of player I am. I'm a kind of man who knows what I want.
I could see if you're like, oh, we're getting on a boat, and then like you fight monsters off the boat or whatever, and a couple campaigns or a couple sessions go by, and you level up, and it's like, well, I'm a boatman now.
It makes sense. It totally makes sense. You could totally play it like that. But back to the feature Storm Soul, where you become infused with the element of your said terrain. You gain resistance to said type, so desert, fire, sea, lightning, and tundra cold. You'll gain a resistance to that typing. If you are a desert storm, you will gain immunity to all extreme heat, and this is the really cool part. You can also touch flammable objects and light them on fire if you so choose.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
It's almost like having a cantrip, like...
Yeah.
It is, basically.
Yeah.
Your cantrip is I can touch things and they light on fire.
Is this the deed to your house? Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
There you go.
I got too mad.
Sea Storm Soul, you gain lightning resistance. You also gain the ability to breathe underwater.
Oh, shit. That's powerful.
Yeah, and you also gain a swim speed of 30 feet, which is nice. So
I have a question.
Yeah,
if you're like drowning inside, if you're suffocating inside of a gelatinous cube, does your breathing underwater ability help you? Or is it like gills kind of where you need to like kind of sift the air out of the, like you get the oxygen molecules out of the
I think that
water.
It wouldn't work if you have water breathing. But if you are like an air genasi,
yeah, you can just hold your breath.
Need to breathe,
right?
So you're good. I think water breathing is very specific to you. Can breathe water.
Yeah, you
cannot breathe gelatinous cube jelly.
Your barbarian is a fucking a guy from Waterworld. He's got like fucking gills.
Yeah,
on his
exactly.
neck.
Yeah, very much so. That's definitely how I picture it. For the Tundra Soul, you would gain cold resistance, immunity to extreme cold, and the ability to freeze water within the size of a 5x5 cube, which is pretty
That's a
big.
lot.
That's really big. Yeah.
That's a lot of cold drinks for you and your bros.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So next up, at level 10, you gain a feature called Shielding Storm, which basically grants the resistance that you get from your Storm Soul, the previous feature, to allies of your choice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I can't remember off the top of my head if it's like limited to a certain amount. But that's the general gist of it. You're going to be able to... So basically, it's a nice way to protect your allies from your fucking fire damage if you're a desert.
Yeah.
So, well, now you only take 1 damage instead of 2, Or
Much better, actually.
Yeah. Fire's the only one
That's
where
like
you have to
half.
worry about that. The sea one, you get to choose your target. And Tundra one just helps your allies. So that's the basics of level 10 feature, Shielding Storm.
Okay.
The final feature you get for this subclass is called Raging Storm. You get it at level 14, and it's basically extra aura stuff.
Okay.
Which is gonna make your aura that much better. So for the Desert Storm, all right, let me think what I'm about to say, so I don't say it wrong.
Okay.
So when you are hit, you can make a reaction to make the enemy who hit you make a dexterity save. If they fail, they take the equivalent of half the damage you took in fire damage.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It's like somebody hits you across the chest with an axe. Your wound opens up and blasts them with your magma blood, and their eyes burn because.
Yeah.
But they take half of what you took.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's fucking dope. That's really good.
Very useful, I would say. All right, Sea Storm.
My blood is magma.
You can, for the Sea Storm, you can take a reaction when you hit somebody and make the enemy make a strength save. If they fail, they get knocked prone. Useful, but maybe less flavorful.
That'd be cool. Does Thunder Wave push people?
It pushes people, but it doesn't knock them prone.
That'd be cool if electricity from your hit comes out, and if they don't have the strength, it like collapses them.
Yeah, exactly.
They like temp paralyzed. I don't want to say paralyzed because that's a different status.
That's a condition,
right?
Yeah, so, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay.
So for the Tundra Soul, you get to choose one creature, and that creature makes a strength save. If they fail, that creature's speed is reduced to 0, and they cannot move that turn.
Oh, fuck.
Now this I find very, very handy. It is my least favorite of the 3 types of Storm Soul, so I would never get to this point. But that is a very nice feature.
Yeah.
Tundra Soul Barbarian. I see you.
So what? That's not useful if they already moved that turn, though, right?
No.
Or does it affect them on the next turn?
I'd have to look up the details. I think it's for a turn. So
so if it's for the next turn, it's super good still. But
yeah, you should be able to lock them down for a round, regardless of when they moved.
I like it.
Otherwise,
you need to be first in the initiative order to make it happen.
You need to boost that Dex mod because you got to go first. I'm gonna drink this water.
That looks delicious. It's like Storm Barbarian water.
Yeah, I'm obviously Sea Storm Soul. Moving on. Okay. Before we move on, any questions about the Storm Herald? I think it's pretty straightforward. I think it's really cool. One thing that I liked about it was, as I think I've said on this podcast many times, I've always struggled with trying to recreate 4th edition sword mages.
Right, yeah.
And I won't say that this is a perfect replacement or anything, but there are certain things about the Storm Soul that get some of the things that I liked about Sword Mage. And if I were to attempt to make a Sword Mage again, I would probably attempt a Storm Soul and see how it would come out.
Okay.
I think it's really cool. I like the idea of flinging lightning and also being good with the sword.
Hell yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, so...
but I don't really have any questions. I
it's
just,
pretty straightforward.
Again, I like the like that rock paper scissors style, like with the like ice, electricity, fire. I think that's a cool little blend of things to kind of throw around.
Yeah, I mean it's a trope for a reason, definitely.
3 barbarians meet in the battlefield. Yeah.
So
one of them is their own Storm Herald.
Yeah.
Who wins? I don't know.
It's a very flavorful subclass, and all these subclasses we're going to talk about today are flavorful. But let's move on to the next one.
Yeah,
this next one is also in Xanathor's guide. It is the Path of the Zealot, and this is a way for you to rage for your god. This is what you could fuse your religion and your anger into one cohesive.
I get mad for God.
Zealous feeling. Yeah, you
so pissed.
Mad on behalf of your deity. And this makes sense. I like this because like a barbarian could be religious. There's no reason why not. But like cleric and paladin don't really fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are deities out there that may not have clerics or paladins, but barbarians specifically. So why wouldn't they want to give some of their more zealous barbarians with a little bit of divine oomph?
Yeah, so that's true.
So that's what this is. So
sounds like a bumper sticker. Pissed for God.
Pissed for God. So at level 3, you're going to get two features.
Okay.
If you take the path of the Zealot. Now, Zealot or Zealot?
Zealot.
Zealot. I'm not sure.
Zealot.
Did you say Zealous or Zealous?
You said Zealous, and then but earlier you said Zealot.
Did I say Zealot?
Zealous.
So maybe I go back and forth.
Let's go with Zealous. Yeah.
Zealous. Yeah. So you're going to gain a feature called Divine Fury. And this is a feature which is going to kind of, it's almost like a Divine Smite a little bit.
Okay.
It gives you, it powers up your weapon a bit. So the first hit that you make while you're raging deals an extra 1d6 plus half your barbarian level of radiant or necrotic damage. Depends on you. Okay. It depends on the god you serve. So if you're serving it's like Bane, the god of murder, like it's gonna be necrotic. but if you're serving like Pelor, the sun god, yeah, it's gonna be radiant.
Okay, so you don't get to pick like, I mean, hey, this hit I want to do necrotic damage, and this hit I want to do radiant damage.
As a DM, I wouldn't allow that.
Yeah, you gotta
unless you're serving some sort of bipolar god of schizophrenia who's like really.
I'm the god of yin and yang.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Yeah, exactly. So, but other than that, no, I'm not gonna let you. But
okay,
I don't know if the rules say anything about that. I'd have to look at it again.
Right. Well, what you're saying makes sense.
Yeah. So you get that at level 3. You also get at level 3 a feature called Warrior of the Gods, and this is more of a passive thing.
It's a cool name.
Okay, so if you die and someone raises, someone casts a spell.
Not if you die, when you die.
When you die, and a caster tries to cast the spell Raise Dead on you. They do not need components to raise you. You're just really ready to come back, and they just got to say the word.
My body is made of components to raise dead.
Exactly. They just got to say the word, and your god's like, make it happen.
Hell yeah.
So I thought that was strange when I first read it, but there are more things that play into the same kind of
later features you get.
This resurrection theme for the Zealot, it comes back.
You're hard to kill. If you do get killed, you're still hard to kill because you're not killed.
Indeed, very much so.
Okay, I got you.
So at level 6, you get a feature called Fanatical Focus. And this is just useful. You basically get one free reroll on a failed save while you're raging. And while you're raging, I think you have advantage on a lot of, I have to go back and look, but you have advantage on a lot of bullshit when you're raging.
Yeah,
Plus,
you take resistance on like piercing slashing, right?
Well, yeah, that's resistance. Well, I do know that barbarians get like an not uncanny dodge, but they get like an uncanny awareness feature or something like that, where basically any trap or spell that they can see that requires a dex save, they have advantage on.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you felt like you already have,
I just raged through all these traps.
Excuse me. You already have like save boosting features. This is just another one, and it's just really useful.
Yeah, just tank through stuff. That's kind of what the barbarian's about.
It really is. It really is. But another real clean, quick cut feature. Next up, level 10, Zealous Presence. This one's
Zealous Presence.
Zealous Presence. Zealous Presence. You can make a divine battle cry that grants advantage to all your allies within 60 feet of you. Now, that's flavorful.
Yeah,
kind of cool. I'd love to hear what.
It's probably have a lot of reverb on it.
Yeah, it's got to, right?
It echoes through
a tinge of chorus on
the surrounding mountain ranges. Somebody in a town 7 miles away is like, "What?"
I feel inspired. No, it's only within 60 feet, but I like it, but it's a little what's the word? Subpar compared to some other subclass features. It just feels a little weak because there's only a turn of advantage. I guess a turn of advantage on attacks for all allies is pretty good, though.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'd be coming in handy.
Are we talking about? So I'm getting confused in something like, does this barbarian need to be at the top of the initiative order to make this really pop off?
No, it's just until the end of your next turn.
Oh, your next turn. Okay, yeah. So it's going to go for a full round. So
yeah, it's going to go full round.
That's very. Yeah. I think that's very good.
This is more useful the more allies you have.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
If you're in a 2-man party, this ability isn't.
It's
great.
Okay. I mean, but in the play is typically designed for 4-man.
Yeah.
So like,
if you're in an 8-man party, if you're in an 8-man party, you're fucking nigh unstoppable.
Yeah, because like all of them are probably going to hit. Damn, that's good.
This is either for short rest or long rest. I don't remember.
It's really good if you have like a wizard that's gonna pop some huge spell.
Spells don't get advantage though, because spells cause other things to roll for them.
Oh, you're right.
Unless it's an attack roll spell, which that would apply.
Okay, so like a big attack, like basically pop your big move when this thing goes off.
Yeah, as long as it's a spell attack roll.
Right.
So moving on. Final one for these guys. We're back to the resurrection feel here. Rage beyond death.
I rage through death.
Yeah.
Through traps and death.
So
and
this
slashing damage.
Feature is actually really fucking cool.
Okay.
And I'm excited to talk about it.
It's called Rage Through Death?
It's Rage Beyond Death.
Beyond death. Oh, shit.
So if you are raging and you get knocked to 0 HP, you do not fall unconscious. You keep going.
Oh, shit.
But you
become undead.
Not exactly. You do make your death saves like an unconscious character would, but you just get to keep going.
You're still attacking.
You just get to keep killing.
That's hot.
If you die due to failing all 3 of your saves, you don't die until your rage ends. So you got like a minute left. You're gonna finish this fight,
right?
But the second this fight's over, you're dead.
You're gonna die.
Your heart explodes. Whatever happens. And you will die if you reach your max HP in negative. So let's say your max HP is 50. You hit 0, you keep going, but as you're fighting, you get knocked to negative 50. You will go down at that point.
Oh shit!
But it's just like this divine ability to just keep fucking going. And
it's like unlocking your 7th life gate chakra or whatever.
Yeah, if you fail your death saves while raging, but get healed back up above 0, you don't die.
What happens if you go full neg?
If you go full neg, you die, period.
Okay.
There's no healing. You died on the spot.
But they can just fucking super revive you all super easy.
Yeah, because of the whole Warrior of the Gods feature. Yeah, right. But if you fail all 3, so it's like, oh no, the second my rage is done, I die. But then your cleric's, I got you, bro. Healing word. You're now at 2 HP. You don't die.
That's really good.
So yeah, very, very nice.
That's useful.
And
well, you should probably have a healer in the party or something.
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
Somebody throws like a you don't need to drink this healing potion. You can just like throw it at the ground and like people are affected nearby. That's a cool idea for a healing potion.
Yeah, that's something like Artificer would do.
Oh, cool.
But that's an episode for another day.
Indeed.
And let's take a short rest.
Let's do it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the part of the episode where we stop talking about that last thing. Don't think about it anymore. Think about this. It's you. It's yourself. Think about yourself and how much we love you listening to the show and being a part of the show and doing all the things that you all do. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
So we have a couple things we wanted to say to you. First of all, Happy New Year. And with the new year comes new things. And one of those new things is a new Vault Raiders series that we put up on our Patreon that Will is working on right now. Indeed. Soon it will be done. And soon we will record it. And then after that, I'm going to edit it. And then I'm going to put it up on Patreon.
Should I reveal the title of the upcoming Vault Raiders?
Well, before, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The upcoming Vault Raiders adventure that I am working on is titled The Vault Raiders and the Cult of the Dreadstar.
Sure. That's awesome. Okay.
Learn what that means later in the episode.
More on that to come if you're on Patreon. Also, if you want to catch our previous Vault Raiders that we did, it's very good and I highly recommend it. It is the Vault Raiders and the Isle of Dread. You can catch that on our Patreon. It's in the $5 tier. There's video and audio for that. There's also a lot of other stuff on our Patreon, like show notes, early episodes, and our Halloween special that we did. We do like a seasonal one-shot campaign as well. So if you want to hear me and Will and some of our buddies play some D&D instead of just talking about some D&D, that's one of the best places to check it out.
Indeed.
Other than that, you can find us on soundcloud.com/the Dungeoncast. You can search for us on YouTube by searching the Dungeoncast. Thanks, Josh Freeland. And hit us up on iTunes, leave us a review, or get down in that comment section below and hit the like and subscribe. And that would really help us out a lot. Otherwise, I think we should get back to the show. What do you think?
I think we should.
Let's do it.
All right. We're back?
Yeah, we're back. I wanted to say, hey, sorry guys if there's any like weird audio on this episode. I got a new soundboard and we're doing some experiments because I haven't had any opportunity to test it out before this recording. So yeah. Thanks for coming along on this adventure with me.
Audio adventure.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so we're going to talk about one other subclass.
Okay.
And this is actually from a Sword Coast Adventures Guide.
That's Skag.
Yeah, that's Skag.
Don't pick your Skags.
It's called The Path of the Battle Rager.
Okay.
This is an interesting one. It's definitely not my favorite. I'm gonna just be honest and upfront about that right now.
Well, I'm glad for your honesty, Will.
Yeah, but let's talk about it. So the first odd thing about this subclass is technically it is race restricted.
Oh.
It's supposed to be dwarf restricted only, but of course it says at DM's discretion, and of course, like
so it's just a heavy recommendation to do the dwarf.
The reason it is the way it is because this specific style of fighting, I guess, in Forgotten Realms is restricted to a dwarf clan, a very specific one. I think I'm not sure on that.
Okay,
that is what I think I know. But let's actually talk about it. So the Battle Rager is a barbarian that is all about wearing and using spiked armor.
Okay.
Which is very different from
my body as a weapon.
Yeah, very much so. I view this barbarian as the spiky weirdo. So basically, the first thing you're gonna get is the ability to wear spiked armor called Battle Rager armor. And they give a little like template for what spiked armor is. It's like it costs 75 gold. It gives you AC equal to 14 plus your dex mod with a limit of +2, so 16 is your max. Mm-hmm. And you have disadvantage on stealth roll. Honestly, it's a shitty set of armor, but
it's got spikes on it, though.
It's got spikes on it. And that's what you're about.
But I can lay on somebody and it would hurt them a lot.
Because the other half of Battle Rager armor is, as a bonus action, you may make a bonus attack with your armor on an enemy that is within 5 feet of you. If you hit, they take an extra 1d4 of piercing damage.
Nice.
Also, when you grapple an enemy, if you so choose to do so, that target will take 3 piercing damage per turn that they're grappled.
Yeah, man, that seems accurate.
Yeah, so you're just about hurling yourself onto people.
I'm gonna start firing dwarven barbarians out of slingshots.
Have you ever? I think they're called jumping cactus. Have you ever been to the high desert and seen those? They're strange looking small cactuses that have like little spiky balls on them. And if you get too close, it's almost as if one of the balls will jump out and stick in
and grapple you, and you'll take 3 damage.
And you're taking that 3 seconds. Yeah, exactly that. That's the barbarian is not but a giant one of those.
Oh my god. Okay, so, I like it.
Moving on. The next ability you get is called Reckless Abandon.
That's a dope name, also.
Indeed, you gain your con mod's worth of temporary HP while you rage and using your reckless attack. So if you use your reckless attack while you're raging, you gain your con mod and temporary HP.
So anywhere between 1 and 5 temp HP.
Indeed. And it is useful because when you use reckless attack, you're granting advantage on yourself.
Right.
So you might need that extra buffer. Honestly, I don't care for that feature much either. Moving on, you get at level 10, you get the Battle Rager Charge, which you can use your dash as a bonus action while raging. Now that is useful.
Yeah, especially if you want to grapple somebody.
Yeah, get over here. You can dash as a bonus action, and I think a dash is already double your movement.
Yes.
So you can basically get triple movement while you're mad. you're just a spiky bullet.
You can take that feat. There's a feat at level 4 where you
oh man, yeah.
I think you up your movement
is it
speed.
Athlete?
No. I forget what it's called, but I know that you don't have to
mobile.
That's it. You don't have to disengage from people. Like you can just freely move around.
Oh gosh.
And you get more movement speed.
Spiky bullet. That's an interesting character. We finally made this subclass something I would be interested in seeing.
What do you do for a living? I run. And I wear this while I do it.
Yeah. At level 14, you get your final thing. It's called Spiked Retribution.
Yeah, hell yeah.
While
of course
raging,
it is.
While raging, if you are hit by a creature within 5 feet of you, they're going to take 3 piercing damage. I think at this point, you've just mastered that shoulder check of them getting too close to you.
I'm a porcupine, but on the front.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, that's the Battle Rager.
Okay.
I don't think it's aptly named. It should be Path of the Spiked Rager. But
it should be called Front Porcupine.
Yeah, there we go. So there is another subclass in Xanathar's Guide called the Ancestral Guardian, but we talked about the Ancestral Guardian.
Okay. What? Ancestral Guardian. I thought you said something else. It was bad.
Ancestral Guardian.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I know what you thought. Okay, moving on. We did talk about this subclass in Xanathar's Guide. in the Xanathar's Guide episode. So if you want to hear about the Ancestral Guardian, you can hear about it there.
I'd much rather hear about an Ancestral Guardian than that other thing.
Yes, it is the first subclass we talk about in that episode. So
gotcha.
So go check that out, please. Let's build a character, but before we do that, I kind of wanted to talk about reflavoring Rage because I think a lot of people aren't too drawn to the Barbarian class normally because it seems very straightforward. Like, I'm a raging warrior.
Yeah, he just gets mad.
Yeah, I'm a brute, period, end of story. But it doesn't have to be like that.
There's a lot of cool things you can do. Yeah,
the most common thing I see done to make Barbarians very interesting, and I think it works great, is taking Rage and calling it something else and reflavoring it as a concept, and it just drastically alters your character. So it could be something like, rather than going into a rage, you go into a zen-like trance, and that changes you from a brute to maybe a very insightful kind of person.
Cool. Ultra Instinct.
Yeah. Sorry. Sage mode from Naruto. Anyone who's familiar with the anime Naruto, that's a thing. I don't want to give spoilers, but
it's a power up.
It's a power up.
Somebody gets this power up.
Yeah, it's a mode that a certain character can go into by absorbing nature energy.
Also, spoilers: Naruto doesn't die.
Moving on.
It's called Naruto.
It could be like an extreme like focus. I almost picture like a hunter's quarry type moment where you just hone in. And like you hone in on the battle, and you're just so goddamn focused.
Or like somebody playing a professional match of World of Warcraft.
Yeah, sure.
Do you ever blink?
Performance enhancing drugs.
Oh, like Drunken Master style.
It could be Drunken Master style, or it could be some sort of weird brew concoction that your tribe makes that you just guzzle and you just Hulk out.
It's called anger juice.
Yeah, anger juice.
Jungle juice.
Yeah, jungle juice. There we go.
Get drunk and mad.
Under the
just like regular jungle juice.
There we go. Under the influence, which you kind of said with the Drunken Master deal. Yeah, you could just be getting really drunk.
Hell yeah.
Super Saiyan, you could just fucking power up. You just go Super Saiyan. It could be a transformation is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Your hair turns into fire.
It could be like a rhythm or like dance-like thing where like... So there was an old book series I used to read called Sword Dancer.
Okay.
And there was a character in Sword Dancer. His name was Sand Tiger. And he had a very specific style of sword play. In that world, there's like northern sword fighting and southern sword fighting. And he was from the south, which is a very like desert-like region. And he would always like, when he would challenge an enemy, he would say like, step into the circle with me. And it was almost like a dance, like a rhythm.
Okay.
And he would go into like this sword fighting mode. And he would just be unstoppable. He was like the greatest swordsman.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Like that's something you could do. It could be something like that.
Come into the battle arena.
Indeed, yeah. So there's many things that you could do with Barbarian to make it much more flavorful. It doesn't have to be an anger monster.
Right. Get creative. It's up to you.
Yeah. That being said, let's build a character. We're gonna take a moment. We're gonna gather our materials, our character sheet, and our dice, and let's make a barbarian. We have returned. I have some dice.
We're back again. Will has dice.
Indeed, because we're making a character. So we got our 4d6 for ability score rolls. So we're gonna build a Storm Herald Barbarian.
Okay.
And I think I mentioned earlier in the episode, I talked about how I wanted to give a shot trying to like recreate a sword mage from 4E.
Right.
And so that's what we're going to do.
Nice. I'm into it.
I used to have a human sword mage named Sanosuke the Stormblade, and he was fucking one of my favorite characters I ever made and rolled and whatnot. And
I DM'd that guy one time.
You did. One iteration of him.
Yeah, there's many versions
of Sano. But yeah, let's do it. So we're going to do Storm Herald. I think I chose level 6. He's going to be 5 levels of Barbarian with 1 level in Fighter.
Cool.
Because I want him to dual wield, so there's some Fighter stuff I wanted for that. And he's going to be human, because he's always been human, but that feat also looks very sexy, so we're going to get that feat. But before we do anything, let's roll some attributes.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll record your numbers while you roll. The good luck dice.
That's an 11.
11. Okay. Or 1d1 as it's known in some circles.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a bad stat.
That's bad. That's
a 7.
7. That's a 7. Okay. That's going to be his charisma. That's also
bad.
Great. Oh, gosh.
That's an 8.
Yeah, that's an 8. Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Sano. That's good-ish. 14.
14 is fine. That's all right.
That's 5, 8, 10.
Okay. Very middle of the road. About as middle of the road as you can get.
Man, seriously.
This isn't looking good.
No, it's not.
That's looking amazing.
Oh, yes, 18.
Satan.
I'm so happy.
Okay, so you got 18. Well, you deserved it after all these boof rolls.
Yeah.
So there's 6 rolls. Do you want to? Why don't you roll one more and then we'll cut your low? You've got
Okay, let's do that.
You got 3 or 4 bad stats here.
Yeah. We'll cut that 7. I don't want a 7, bro.
Well, you're gonna keep whatever you get here. So
yeah, here we go. 663.
That'll do.
What is that? 15?
15.
Fuck yeah.
So you want to cut the 7 and make it 15?
Yeah, we'll cut the 7 and make it 15.
Okay.
And that's final. Okay.
All right.
So let's so 18 is obviously strength because I'm a strong man.
Okay, 18 strength. Got it.
What's my next highest?
15. That reroll.
That'll be constitution.
Then you have a 14.
That'll be dexterity.
15 and 14, and then you have, let's see, an 11 and a 10 and an 8.
11 into wisdom, 10 into intelligence, and 8 into charisma.
Okay.
Because Sano is not stupid, but he is not very charismatic. Most people think he's kind of a loser.
He's a loser.
So let's talk a little bit about Sano.
Yeah. Why is he a loser?
So the way I've pictured him is he comes from a race of people, like a culture that lives on the sea. They're like sea nomads. They're like the greatest sailors in the world.
Oh, cool.
They don't leave the sea. It's not a thing they usually do.
Doesn't leave the sea.
And they basically worship a storm and sea goddess very fervently.
Okay.
And there is a ritual which their great warriors can go through to become infused with storm, and it involves like tattooing of their entire body from their wrists to their ankles to their neck. Like
nice.
The only thing not tattooed are their feet, hands, and face area.
So he's mostly ink.
He's mostly ink. Okay. And what they do is they sail into like these great storms, and they tie these warriors to the mast, and they have to survive the night. And if they do, they become infused with storm. And that's kind of good. His rage isn't going to be like a rage. It's going to be him like unlocking the power in his tattoos.
Are the okay? So the tattoos are like magical.
Yeah, they'll start glowing blue. His eyes will start glowing blue.
Avatar style. Nice.
Yeah, Avatar style. He'll start just dealing storm shit.
I like it.
Great.
That's nice.
He did something.
Okay.
We're not going to say what.
He did a bad thing?
He did a bad thing.
Okay.
And he got banished, excommunicated from his tribe. And in order to make it known to all other tribe members, because, they're all on different boats, he has a traitor tattoo, I guess you could call it.
Oh, he's got like a mark of shame?
A mark of shame on his forehead.
Oh.
So that he can never... he'll never be invited back. You know what I mean? He can never return.
Did you ever see Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds?
No.
It was a season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where people would go to jail, and if they got, caught doing crime and they went to jail, they tattooed their face.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the tattoo was like a barcode saying what you did.
Oh, okay.
So the main character's got this fucking tattoo on his face.
Right. Okay. That's cool. I'm gathering inspiration from the Stormlight Archives books by Brandon Sanderson, where the slaves get a glyph kind of tattooed on their forehead.
Almost.
A brand, yeah, a slave brand. And there's a lot of lightning stuff in that, so that's where I'm getting a lot of. I'm also getting inspiration from Robert Jordan's books, The Wheel of Time, because there's a people called the Athenmere who are like seafaring folks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Willow Time.
Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time.
I
thought you said Willow Time.
It's Willow Time. No. Okay. So he kind of lives with the shame. He is a gambling addict and a drunkard. He never backs down from a bet, and any challenge to like his manliness or his ability to be cool or proficient in something, he immediately will try and prove that wrong.
Okay.
He just can't help himself.
All right. Don't call him Yella.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And the way I see him dressed is he has like these baggy, loose-fitting breeches, some sandals. He's shirtless, and he has a white-colored cloak.
Okay.
With like blue ocean waves kind of on the hem at the bottom.
Okay.
And two long swords because he's dual wielding.
That sounds like kind of Japanese.
Yeah, very, very, very Japanese inspired.
Okay.
Very, very much so.
I like it.
So yeah, that's my guy. I don't know any questions about him before we start building his ass.
No. I feel like nah.
All right, let's get those modifiers in. Okay, well let's. As a human, he gets a +1 to 2. So let me.
Oh yeah, you go
take
for
a
it.
Look at this sheet. So yeah, Constitution is obviously getting 1, and that's getting turned into a 16.
What's up with this sheet?
And then,
get it.
and then I guess wisdom will be his other one because I want to turn that into a 12.
That's a great way to do that.
And then I'm going to
those even numbers though.
Yeah, I'm actually going to spend his level 4 attribute bonus on his dex. That's going to get a +2, so that'll be a 16 as well.
Nice. Okay.
So he's looking pretty sexy.
He's starting to get strong.
All right, so he's wearing studded leather.
Okay.
So it's a 12 base, and then he's going to get to add 6. 3 from con, 3 from dex, so he has an 18 armor class.
Nice.
But he's also at level 1 as a human going to take the feat, the dual wielding feat.
Okay.
Which while he's using his swords, he gets a +1 AC.
So 19.
This barbarian's rolling in deep with a 19 AC.
God, this looked so bad at first, and now it's looking pretty good.
I know.
What was that reroll?
It was that reroll. It was that rule breaking reroll that we do.
That's our home.
That's our homebrew. That's how we do it. So dual wielding feat. He will take 5 levels in Barbarian, so he's going to get his extra attack. He's going to get the Storm Soul at level 3.
Okay.
He's going to have his Reckless attack. He's going to obviously have his Rage.
Mm-hmm.
For his background, Sailor, obviously.
Right, okay, sure. I guess like Criminal could have been one.
No, he's definitely Sailor, because what he did wasn't a crime per se. What he did was like, he made a hard choice and it brought shame to his people.
Oh, shit.
So, and what it is, I don't know. Well, we'd have to make it up later.
Right.
I'll probably roll this guy if my other character dies.
Okay.
He's cool.
He is cool.
So let's look at saving throws. He's going to get con and strength from Barbarian. The Sailor gives him athletics and I believe, is it perception? I think it is perception.
That would make sense.
We're going to say it's perception.
Let's
if
just
I'm
call it
wrong,
that.
If I'm wrong, we'll go
so
back later.
Be it.
I don't like this custom sheet. It is throwing me way off.
Perception. All your skills are right by where
see.
the modifier would be.
I believe he gets the rite of passage feature from Sailor, so he can secure passage on boats because of his background.
He's just like, I fucking know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Watch me tie this knot.
Exactly.
Like,
like, oh, dude,
get that man on my boat.
Yeah, you're one of the sea nomad people. Hell yeah, get on my boat.
Yeah.
So yeah, he can do that.
It's good luck to have you. Except, what's that tattoo on your
4
face?
+ 3. Don't look at that. That's not important.
Don't worry. Don't ask me about that again.
What's important is the money I'm going to save you
by
being on your boat. And let me see here. Oh, as a human, he gets an extra thing. I think. I'm going to choose acrobatics, and I'm going to choose survival, and I'm going to choose.
Your proficiency should be like a +3 at level 6, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think you're right.
So
acrobatics,
some of these skills are looking
perception,
real good.
Survival. You know what? He's in human nature.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There he is.
The
All
ocean is natural.
Indeed, it is. I'm trying to think. So the 1 level in fighter that he's going to get, he will take the 2 weapon fighting style, which means I can attach my strength mod to both attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And the dual wielding feat means I can use long swords instead of short swords.
Right.
So basically, a round of combat for him is going to be 2 d8s plus strength mod ×2, and then if he's raging, additional rage damage plus the lightning thing.
Nice.
So he's gonna be a fucking force of nature, which is my plan.
Cool.
And with a 19 AC, he's gonna wade in there and front line it. What I'll do is I'm gonna hash out the rest of this character sheet, and we'll post it on Twitter and on the Patreon.
Right.
So if you guys
we'll upload it.
So if you guys like the character we've built and you want to see more of Sanosuke the Stormblade, I'll have a clean, clear, crisp character sheet on the Twitter, and if you're on Patreon, it'll also be on the Patreon.
Oh, you know, we have that PDF. You can just like type everything in.
That's
okay,
exactly
we'll
what I'm gonna do.
Instead of scanning this one.
I don't know. I think I've covered it. All the basics.
Well, what's your so as a fighter you get a D8 for your HP?
Oh no, it's a D10. So yeah, let's
it's a 10.
actually
And D12 for barbarian?
Yeah. So let's do some HP rolls.
Yeah, we need to know how chunky is Sano.
Well, he's very fit. I don't know how chunky he is. He's very meaty.
Well,
I know what you mean. Well, he starts off with a base of
12
plus 3, so 15. Con. So he starts at 15 at level 1.
Okay.
So I need one D10 and
a D8.
No, a D12. D10.
Oh, that's right. 1 D10 and a bunch of D12. I don't know. I keep saying D8. You're right. Okay.
So levels 2, 3, 4, and 5. Actually.
Yep.
I want that one.
Let's keep it.
And a D10. So we're gonna add all this, and then plus another. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 3, so another 15. So we're starting at a base of 30, really.
That's good. Plus this die roll.
Plus all these dice.
May the dice gods look on you with favor. That's
an 11
okay.
and a 7. Those
That's
are good.
18, 19, 20. Here's 20 here. 23, 25.
So 55 HP. Not as good as I had hoped, but still pretty.
Yeah, some of those rolls are pretty low, but hey, your stats really bolstered that for you.
There it is. So yeah, that's Sanosuke the Stormblade.
I like it.
Do you have any questions about him as a person before we call it a game?
Wasn't there this thing with your daughter?
I'm actually
Sano?
I'm moving away from that because this
okay.
is okay. So in my previous iterations of Sano, he's been an old man, like 55.
Yeah.
This is young Sano.
Okay, this is like 28-year-old.
Maybe
Sano.
this is a story of him being reaccepted by his people, or something else. Maybe he establishes a different tribe on an island somewhere.
How young are we talking? Because young Sano to me is like 30 or lower. But are we talking about?
I'm talking like
Sano,
23-year-old Sano.
Oh damn.
Yeah. And so he's got a good 30 years of adventure before that other stuff happens.
Oh,
theoretically.
Shoot. Okay.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
That's an interesting little alt reality version of this character. Because
indeed,
I feel like it's hard for me to answer these questions or ask questions because I know the character.
Yeah. So that's the basics. I'll have the details hashed out on Twitter and Patreon. And then with that, let's call it a game.
Let's call it a game.
All right.
Thanks,
you guys have a good one.
Bye. Dungeoncast.
Sure.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Will.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons and Dragons, from moldy myconids to magnanimous monstrosities. And today, we're talking about giants. We're not. I listened to that this morning, and that's why I'm confused about what's going on.
All right. It really took me by surprise. I was like, the fuck?